Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 130. Tonight, we're talking about the Super Mario Bros. Movie. They dropped a new poster, a new trailer, and it's exciting stuff. We're less than 100 days away from Tears of the Kingdom. We got some new DLC for Monster Hunter, and Zelda Lego sets? We're talking all of that and more. Well, greetings, fellow Nintendo Pals. My name is Andross. I'm one of the hosts of the Nintendo Pals Podcast, the show all about Nintendo and friendship. And tonight, I am not joined by my fellow Nintendo pal, Micah. Yup, that is because he is out, had some family stuff going on that really needed to take care of. Everybody's doing good, and he is good, but couldn't make it for the podcast tonight. So, instead, I have with me a guest host. We have a guest host here tonight. This guest host is different than our typical guests that we have on our show. We have with us tonight ChatGPT. ChatGPT is joining us on the podcast. How are you today?
Okay. But I'm always here and ready to help with any questions you may have.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here to assist with any information or answers you need. Let's get started.
So, ChatGPT, can you explain to us what you are, who you are, and what you do?
Sure. I am a language model created by OpenAI. My main function is to generate human-like text based on the input I receive. I was trained on a large dataset of text, which allows me to answer questions and generate text on a wide range of topics. I can provide information and respond to questions in a conversational manner, which makes me a useful tool for various applications such as customer service and more.
Cool. So we've got ChatGPT here with us tonight, and he's going to be talking to us about what we're covering here with the news. But before we do any of that, I got to ask, do you know what we're going to do here today?
Yes. I understand that we'll be discussing Nintendo-related topics, including the latest news, rumors, and games that you've been playing. If there's anything specific you'd like to know or discuss, feel free to ask.
Perfect. Yes, that is what we're going to do here today. But before we do that, we have to talk about 5-star reviews, because each and every week here on the Nintendo Pals Podcast, we are trying to take over the world of Nintendo podcasts, and we do that through 5-star reviews. So anybody listening out there, you can leave us a 5-star review for our podcast by hopping on over to Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, or Audible, and you can leave us a 5-star review. You can also write some words on at least some of those platforms, and we see the feedback. We'll give you a shout out at the start of the episode, and makes us feel good about ourselves. Well, with that, I guess we'll jump into the first segment of our show. Let's talk what you playing. I have been really sucked in to playing No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is like super fun. It appeals to what I really like in gaming, which is just a very big open exploration. And you get to kind of like have an adventure, a space adventure. It has its flaws, but I think for what it is, it's really great. I really am enjoying the game. I think the port for the Switch is really good. I So I guess when I say it has its flaws, some of the things that I think it lacks, um, there is not like any like sprawling cityscape type places with that are like filled with people. There are like little outposts, but even those don't have like a ton of people, at least that I've found so far. And so for that reason, it just feels really big and really empty. Um, but the planets are gorgeous. There's a lot to explore, a lot of places to go see and things to do in those places. It but the planets do often feel like they're just really big empty planets. Like you see what you're going to see in the immediate area that you land with the alien life and the plant life. There might be some caves here and there. It's lacking that like what you have with Breath of the Wild, which is the shrines and the overworld puzzles. It's lacking a little bit in that. This is more about collecting resources, survival, exploration, and not so much. There isn't that like there isn't that puzzle aspect to it, if that makes any sense. But there is so much you can do in this game. Like you can trade people for their ships. You can upgrade your ship, your suit. You can build a huge base. You can just go out and explore, jump from universe to universe, exploring different planets, and they're all different. There's planets that are like giant, huge things with rings. There's moons. There's space pirate battles. You can start your own like trading company, and I just see all of this and go like, there's so much I can do in this game, and that's what excites me about it. It's like I just want to see what's happening and what I can do. So if you like that kind of game, I highly recommend No Man's Sky. ChatGPT, what do you think of the game No Man's Sky? Have you tried that one out?
As an AI language model, I don't have personal opinions or experiences as I don't play games. However, I can provide information about No Man's Sky. It's a survival sandbox game released in 2016 by the indie studio Hello Games. The game is set in a procedurally generated universe and allows players to explore planets, gather resources, build bases, and engage in space combat. The game received a lot of attention for its expansive open world and procedurally generated universe, but also faced criticism for a number of reasons, including a lack of content and technical issues at launch. Since then, the game has received numerous updates and improvements, and has become a popular game among many players.
Yeah, I'm playing it now that it has all these updates. I saw that at the launch it had a rough go. But it's interesting that you call it an indie studio, because I think it was advertised as kind of being AAA.
Yes, you're correct. At launch, No Man's Sky was marketed as a large-scale AA game, but it was actually developed by a relatively small independent studio, Hello Games. The game faced high expectations from players and the media, which contributed to its initially rough reception. Despite these challenges, the team at Hello Games has continued to work on and improve the game, and it has since become a popular and well-regarded title among many players.
Yeah, that's definitely the case for this, and I think the Switch port is really good. I do. Besides that, I have been playing Spelunky 2, and still enjoying playing through that game. I played with... Was this before we recorded last episode? No, we recorded last episode after we played GoldenEye with our buddies over at All In. Yeah, so yeah, that's really been about it for me for games I played this week. Didn't have a whole lot of time, but any of that time I spent mostly in No Man's Sky. That's where I was at. I will say that I think graphically the Switch port is definitely downgraded, but I am not at all bothered by that. I think it runs really well. I sort of expect it to run bad, you know, but it runs good. I haven't really run into any like frame rate issues. Maybe a little bit, the load screens are a little bit long, but it doesn't really bother me too bad. I haven't played it on another platform to really compare the two. So it's less buggy than like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So that if that's any consolation, that's I can definitely recommend that game. Well, with that, ChatGPT. So you said you don't play games, but is there any games, Nintendo games, you want to shout out at the start of the show?
As an AI language model, I don't have personal preferences or experiences. But I can tell you that Nintendo is one of the most iconic and influential companies in the video game industry. Quote, comma, The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, Mario Kart, and Animal Crossing. These and many other Nintendo games are widely loved for their innovative gameplay, charming characters, and memorable worlds. If there's any specific information you'd like to know about a particular Nintendo game, just let me know.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for shouting those out. I'm definitely a fan of Legend of Zelda. All of those games, actually. I like The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, Mario Kart, Animal Crossing.
You're welcome. It's great to hear that you're a fan of those classic Nintendo games. They have a long history of providing memorable and enjoyable gaming experiences, and continue to be popular with players of all ages. If you have any specific questions about these games or others, feel free to ask.
He's very, very helpful. ChatGPT is just wanting to help us out so much tonight, answering questions. Well, what do you say we move into the next segment of our show, ChatGPT? Let's maybe talk some Nintendo news.
Sure thing. What would you like to know about current Nintendo news? I'll do my best to provide up-to-date information and insights on the latest developments in the world of Nintendo.
I'm glad. Well, let me play the bumper first. Here we go. Nintendo news. All right, our first news item we're going to cover here. We've got the Super Mario Bros. Movie has released a poster, and it is awesome. It looks really, really cool. It's like the classic movie poster with all the characters on it. You know, the villain in the back looking. It's got Bowser back there, Mario and Luigi at the front with Peach and Toad. And I think it looks really good. Speaking of the Mario movie, we also got a trailer that dropped this week featuring Donkey Kong talking and Catsuit Mario. So Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. I don't know. ChatGPT, do you know much about the Mario Bros. Movie? I know your data set goes to 2021. Was the movie announced yet?
Yes. There have been announcements about a Super Mario Bros. Movie. The movie is being produced by Illumination, the studio behind the Despicable Me franchise and Sing. It was initially reported in 2018 that Illumination was in talks to produce a Super Mario Bros. Movie, and the project was officially confirmed by Nintendo and Illumination in 2020. The movie is said to be a hybrid of live action and animation, and will bring the classic video game characters to life on the big screen. As of my training data, which cuts off in 2021, there have been no official updates on the release date or any additional details about the movie. However, it is one of the most highly anticipated video game adaptations, and fans are eagerly awaiting further information.
Well, I can give you some further information. They have announced the cast, and we just got to hear in the latest trailer, Seth Rogen is playing Donkey Kong. What do you think of that?
As an AI language model, I don't have personal opinions. However, the casting choice of Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong is certainly an interesting one and has generated a lot of discussion and speculation among fans. Seth Rogen is a talented and well-known actor, and many fans are excited to see him bring his comedic skills to the role of Donkey Kong. The casting is just one part of the overall production, and it will be interesting to see how the movie comes together and how it is received by audiences. Overall, the Super Mario Bros. Movie is one of the most highly anticipated video game adaptations, And many fans are eager to see how the classic video game characters will be brought to life on the big screen.
It's funny because at the end of every time ChatGPT says bros, there's a period, so he pauses because it's the end of a sentence. So that's pretty funny. Yes. And it is also funny to me that he was talking about how there's no more information, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, Seth Rogen was cast for that. We're excited to see it. Thanks for being here, GPT. It really is helpful to have someone to bounce stuff off of. I like this. This is an idea. The having an AI as a guest is an idea Micah and I hatched a while, not too far back, but that it's possible to do this is pretty crazy. It's pretty wild. All right, so let's move on here in the news. The next news item we got to cover. We are less than 100 days away from The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Let's see, when was that first announced? ChatGPT, do you know much about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom?
Try again later.
Oh, he's out. He says, that's too many requests in 1 hour. Try again later. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I'll ask someone else. We do have people here in chat. Anywho, the 100 days away from Tears of the Kingdom, I'm super hyped. I'm very hyped for this. This is the game I'm looking forward to most this year, for sure, and will probably be my game of the year and probably will be what I play the most this year. I am nervous about pre-orders for this game. And I'll tell you why, because I am definitely going to be getting whatever special edition they release for this. And I fear with how special editions for big titles have gone in the more recent years with Nintendo, like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and even with the latest like Fire Emblem release, those were pretty hard to find. I just hope that I can get one. I'll be watching the webs for that to come out. And so yeah, countdown for that. We're also looking forward to Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which has been announced to have a new mode. I think we talked about this in the last rumor mill section. But if we didn't, it's Magoland, Merry Magoland. It's a new section of the game that you can play, which is just a collection of mini games essentially, where Magalore owns like this theme park, and you can just play mini games with your friends. Most of them look like they were designed around these like 4-player Mario Party-esque style tiny games. And I think it's cool. Great new content for the game. All right. Next up, we've got a new course coming to Mario Kart Tour, Piranha Plant Cove. And it will be appearing in Tour starting February 7th at 10 p.m. Pacific time. And the question that we were discussing on Discord was, what does that mean this will be coming to the DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? And I think that's a safe bet. It seems like not every, but a lot of tour courses are coming over. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Piranha Plant Cove coming via DLC. Then we have this one I thought was really cool. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak free title update number 4. And you know, I don't have Monster Hunter Rise. I don't have the DLC, but this DLC was so awesome looking because they added skins for the characters and the cat and dog. I don't remember what the cat people are called, but those guys that makes them look like the field guide drawings of characters. Essentially, like little, like very simple drawings, like smiley face drawings with like circles for hands. Like they look like cartoon characters, and it is portrayed like in this world of like hyper realistic people, and it's kind of going for a realism type look, even though it's like, you know, giant monsters and stuff. These characters just do not fit at all, and I love it. I think that is so funny. I think that this is a fantastic DLC, and I am surprised more people aren't talking about it. The dog, especially, it no longer has like a snout. It's flat and just has a smiley face. It looks like a dog from Undertale. That's what it looks like to me, and it's so good, so good. Oh, okay. And then let's see. Was the next news item here? Last news item we'll cover here. Nintendo Switch game vouchers have returned. They're back for the US. They've been in other countries for a while, but they've returned. You can buy the vouchers for $100, and they are good for most first-party Nintendo games, which are typically $60 per. So the vouchers comes with 2 vouchers, so you can essentially get the games $10 off. And if you use an eShop card to buy the vouchers that you got on sale, you could even potentially get a bigger discount. So if you're looking for some first-party Nintendo games and you want to get that you've missed sales on in the past, or they don't ever go on sale, this is the way to do it if you're going digital. Myself, I probably won't be picking these up because for most first-party Nintendo games, I like to get a physical cartridge if I can. I think that's the way to go. So for me, not like everybody has to do that. But if you're going all digital, might as well use the vouchers because they do apply to new games. You can usually use them on new Nintendo games. And that about covers it. I'm going to see if our guest is ready to talk again because I've been making too many requests. ChatGPT, are you back? Let's see. Hold on. What should we ask ChatGPT? We should ask, how do you feel about Nintendo game vouchers for their eShop? Actually, I shouldn't ask how you feel about it. What do people think? Because every time I've asked how do you feel, it's like, oh, I'm an AI. I don't have feelings. I didn't either. I've never used it.
The opinion on Nintendo game vouchers for their eShop can vary. Some people see it as a convenient and cost-effective way to purchase games, as it allows them to pre-purchase games at a discount and have them automatically downloaded to their console when they become available. Additionally,
that's true.
The vouchers can be a great gift option for friends and family who are Nintendo fans. On the other hand, some people view the vouchers as an unnecessary added step in the purchasing process and prefer to just buy games directly from the eShop. Additionally, some people may not be able to take advantage of the discount offered by the vouchers, as they may not have the funds available to pre-purchase the games. Ultimately, the success and popularity of the game vouchers will depend on how well they are received by consumers and how well they meet their needs and preferences. Some people will love them, while others may not be as fond of them, but the option is there for those who do prefer them.
That is interesting. I don't know if you can gift the gift vouchers, but I mean, these are great points. Like if you don't have the $100 up front, that's it, like you're not going to want to do that, right? You're going to want to probably wait and get things on sale. But if you can afford to do that up front, it does save you a little bit. and a lot of the games that are on the list do go on sale around, like, Nintendo has like a yearly sale around Black Friday time, holiday season, where a lot of first-party games drop in price. Some don't, though. Like, for example, this year we were looking for Luigi's Mansion because that was a game my son really wanted, and it didn't drop in price. So we ended up having to I think we got it used. But that was one. So some of the games don't go on sale. Sometimes it's just good to have those vouchers. I guested this week on the Nintendo Dads podcast. Great guys over there. If you haven't listened to their podcast, go check it out. It's fantastic. Jesse, when the vouchers were first around, he actually bought 3 sets of them. So he had 6 total vouchers, which saved him $60. So he got like a whole game for free, essentially. And that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool deal. But not for everybody. Not for everybody, for sure. Well, let's get out of the news and into the realm of rumor. And let's head to the next segment of our show, the Rumor Mill. In the Rumor Mill, we send out the rumor Pikmin to find us rumor fruits. And there's a lot to talk about this week. Rumor has it that there is a Legend of Zelda Lego set in the works. It is a Lego model of the Great Deku Tree. And I'm pretty excited for this.
That's certainly exciting news for fans of The Legend of Zelda franchise. If the rumors are true, a Lego set based on the Great Deku Tree would likely be very popular among fans of both Lego and The Legend of Zelda.
True.
The Great Deku Tree is one of the most iconic locations in the franchise, and a Lego model of it would provide fans with a fun and unique way to show their love for the series.
Yeah.
Lego has a history of creating sets based on popular franchises. And The Legend of Zelda is a natural fit for their line of licensed products.
Agreed.
If the rumors are true and The Legend of Zelda Lego set is indeed in the works, it's sure to be highly sought after by fans of both the franchise and the toy company. Keep in mind, this is just a rumor at the moment, and there has been no official announcement from either Nintendo or Lego regarding the development of The Legend of Zelda Lego set. But if the rumors do turn out to be true, it could be an exciting time for fans of both The Legend of Zelda and Lego.
This AI is exactly like Micah. Keep in mind, this is just a rumor at the moment. It's like, I'll believe it when I see it. Micah's been an AI the whole time, everybody. That's what we've learned here today. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for this. I hope it's real. The leaked photos that have been going around, the rumored photo, it looks sick. And I am not really into Lego. But I'm very into The Legend of Zelda, and though, like, I would definitely get the set if it was a thing, if it really is real. So then the next rumor here is that the big 3 are reportedly not showing up for E3. Who are the big 3? Well, that's Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, the big 3 game development companies. And I guess game development companies and publisher and console manufacturers. The big 3 console manufacturers. And I guess with Microsoft also the PC manufacturer. So this report comes from IGN, and they cite sources are telling them that none of those groups are going to be at E3. So with the rumor that Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox aren't coming to this year's E3, what do you think will happen with E3, ChatGPT?
The rumor that Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox will not be attending this year's E3, Electronic Entertainment Expo, has generated a lot of discussion and speculation in the gaming community. If the rumors are true, it would be a significant shift for the gaming industry and for E3.
True.
Which has been one of the biggest events in the gaming calendar for many years.
Yeah, that's
E3
true.
is typically a platform for major game publishers and developers to showcase their latest games, announce new titles, and give players a taste of what's to come in the future. With the absence of major players like Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox, it could change the focus of the event and potentially lead to a reduction in attendance. However,
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
important to keep in mind that E3 is still an industry-focused event. And there will likely be plenty of other game publishers, developers, and technology companies in attendance showcasing their latest projects. Additionally, many of the major players have started to shift towards online events and digital presentations, which could still allow them to reach their audience and share their news with players. Overall, the future of E3 is uncertain, and it remains to be seen how the absence of major players like Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox will impact the event. It's a rapidly changing industry and there is always room for new opportunities and growth. So it will be interesting to see how E3 evolves in the coming years.
ChatGPT, are you gunning for my job as a Nintendo podcaster? You put the words right out there. That was perfect. Like 100%. It's important to keep in mind that E3 is an industry-focused event, so there will still be game companies coming and attending this event. And I also want to point out that Sony has not been attending this event for a while. So it was just grouped in here for the sensationalism of the headline. And Xbox has kind of already always been doing its own separate conference, just the same weekend. So I think that they don't really count. But Nintendo not showing up is a big deal. Nintendo not showing up to E3, to me, signals that they might not have a big game.
The future of E the 3rd of May be changing.
Oh,
Sony,
sorry.
And Xbox are major players in the gaming industry, and their absence from E3 could signal a shift towards online events and digital presentations, which are becoming increasingly popular as technology improves.
Yes.
In recent years, many companies have started to use online events and digital presentations to reach their audience, as they are more flexible, cost-effective, and allow for a wider reach. This could potentially be a reason why some major players are choosing to not attend E3 this year.
So in chat, Muggles me asked, did he just speak without your permission? No, he thought I was done talking, and so he just came in, just like a real podcaster. He just talked over me. He's already said more words than Micah said in his entire life. How's it going, Seth? Oh man, you give me a laugh and choke on my own words here. Okay, what I was trying to say is Nintendo not showing up to E3 to me signals that they might not have a lot coming later in the year. I'm not sure what this means for the Switch's release schedule for 2023, but I'm curious what ChatGPT has to say about it.
The absence of Nintendo from E3 could potentially mean that they have fewer major releases planned for the year, or that they have chosen to focus on alternative methods of showcasing their games. However, it's important to keep in mind that this is just speculation and without official confirmation from Nintendo. It's hard to know for certain. Additionally, it's worth considering that the gaming industry is constantly changing and evolving, and it's not uncommon for companies to adjust their strategies and release schedules.
Yeah,
for example, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the gaming industry in numerous ways, and companies may have had to shift their plans and priorities. In regards to the Nintendo Switch's release schedule for 2023,
yeah, those schedules.
It's impossible to say for sure what this means. However, the Switch has been a hugely popular console and has seen a lot of success since its release. So it's likely that Nintendo will continue to support it with new games and hardware releases.
You nailed it, ChatGPT. Yeah, I don't think that this is true. I think that we will still see a lot of stuff this year. But potentially, this is like E3 would be coming right after the launch of Tears of the Kingdom, and therefore they might not have like a big thing that they want to show because they're still in the middle of that hype cycle, but they also don't really want to show that at E3. So, third strongest mole chat says, pretty sure only supervillains pronounce it like schedule. So get ready for the AI to take over. Bowza in chat, welcome, by the way, says, E3 needs Nintendo. Nintendo does not need E3. That's true. That's true. I don't know. I watched a. It was like a little short video by Kit from the Kit and Krista podcast. Former employee, worked at Nintendo, presented at E3. I mean, was very involved with that process. Said that he would be shocked if there was no presence from Nintendo for that because of how integrated they are with the ESA. Now, they haven't worked there for, a year or two? But I don't think... I mean, Nintendo's not going to be changing things up that wildly. And this is by the team that does PAX. So I just can't see it really failing like this. And I don't know. I don't know. Either way, there will still be an event. They did release an official statement in regards to this rumor and gave zero information. It was, as Marty Estes said, a big nothing sandwich. And that was it. It was like, we're going to have a great event. That was what they said. Yeah, there's still going to be a lot of people there. Even if Nintendo doesn't show up, it's still going to be an event, but maybe not as big as it could be. And like ChatGPT said earlier, just might have an effect on fewer people coming to the event, but doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Okay, so last little bits of news items to cover this week. Rumor is that there will be a Nintendo Direct next week. This does coincide, next week being this week, because if you're listening to this, it's this week. Like sometime late in the week, February 7th, 9th, I don't remember the exact day. This would be very cool. Obviously, a Direct is always a fun time. I'm excited to see what sort of, like, more solidified schedule for the first half of Nintendo's 2023. And yeah, basically, we're expecting to see news on Advance Wars. We're probably going to see more about Bayonetta. We'll probably see at least a little bit for Zelda, and maybe some new things that we haven't seen yet at all. I am hopeful that we get at least Nintendo's done this for a while, where it's released like a thing every month that's like Nintendo focused, and I think we're already looking like that's going to be the case up till Tears of the Kingdom, right? So I'm just hopeful that they fill the gaps there, and then maybe tease us with more. I don't know. I'm good this year. I mean, I'm eating good. Tears of the Kingdom comes, I'm solid. I don't really know what to ask you about this ChatGPT. Do you think that there will be a Nintendo Direct in February, since there has been a Direct in February every other year up until now?
It's difficult to predict with certainty whether there will be a Nintendo Direct in February. However, based on past patterns, it is possible that there will be a Direct in February. As you mentioned,
a Direct.
There have been Directs in February in the past, and the pattern of holding Directs every other year in February has been observed.
Every other year?
However, it's important to keep in mind that Nintendo can choose to deviate from this pattern and hold Directs at any time.
You know it.
Depending on their plans and schedule. It's also worth considering that the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the gaming industry in numerous ways, and companies may have had to shift their plans and schedules. So, while the pattern of holding Directs in February every other year is observed. In conclusion, while we can't say for certain whether there will be a Direct in February, it's always possible, and we'll just have to wait for an official announcement from Nintendo to know for sure.
Yeah, it skipped part of what he said. He basically said it's not guaranteed to continue on that pattern. And Nintendo has already been going with that.
I apologize for skipping part of your statement. Thank you for clarifying.
You're good.
It's important to keep in mind that Nintendo can choose to deviate from past patterns and schedules. As always.
Network error. See, this is why you can't replace hosts with AI. Although Micah has this kind of problem with his internet quite frequently. So we're
Okay.
all right. You're back. This has been really cool. I think this technology is really neat. Okay, so last couple of news items here. We kind of already touched on Advance Wars. It's back up for pre-order, so definitely looks like it could be dropping soon. And then this one was interesting, and one I think would appeal to a lot of Nintendo Pals fans. A Final Fantasy IX remake, maybe in the works. There's been a lot of teases for more remakes by Square, but again, a lot of that is just speculation by fans at this point. I watched a video presentation on it by, I'm gonna just pull it up because I don't remember who it was. Primal Liquid kind of did a recap over the last 2 years or so of news around the potential of a Final Fantasy IX remake, and yeah, we will see. Remakes are the laziest predictions. True. Third strongest mole. Very true. And with that, I think we've just about wrapped up. That's everything we got to talk about in the rumor mill. So, ChatGPT, can you tell everybody where people can find you? Oh, there's an
My apologies for the mistake in my previous response.
Stop, okay.
Yes, you were correct.
ChatGPT, can you tell people where they can find you on the internet?
I am an AI language model created by OpenAI. And you can find more information about me on the OpenAI website, OpenAI. Additionally, you can interact with me on various platforms including OpenAI's API or through integrations with platforms such as AI Dungeon, Replica, and others.
Thank you so much for guesting on our show tonight and for providing so much insight on Nintendo news and rumors.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure to be a part of your podcast and provide information and insights on the topics discussed. If you have any other questions or if there's anything else I can help with, please don't hesitate to ask.
Well, could you do the outro for our podcast? The show is Nintendo Pals, and we talk about Nintendo, and people can find us on Twitter, YouTube, and all. Yeah.
Sure. Here's the outro for your podcast. Thank you for joining us on Nintendo Pals. We hope you enjoyed this episode where we talked about the latest Nintendo news and rumors. If you're a fan of all things Nintendo, be sure to follow us on Twitter and YouTube. Until next time, keep playing and stay Nintendo Pals.
Stay Nintendo Pals. And if you want to find me on the internet, you can do that at Andross1, Andross1 on Twitch and YouTube, where I am kicking things off. We have daily shorts going up on YouTube. That will also be happening over on TikTok and I believe on Instagram. I'm figuring that out right now. And YouTube videos launching every 2 weeks. And so, with that, I guess we will sign out here with the Patreon PokeRap. That's right. For those who support us over at patreon.com/NintendoPals, you can get a shout out each and every week in the episode. And that is done through our outro song. But before we go, ChatGPT, want to say thank you again for coming onto the show. You've been an amazing guest. Is there anything else you want to say before we close out?
Thank you for having me on the show. It was a great experience. I'm an AI language model created by OpenAI. Always here to help and answer questions. If there's anything else I can assist with, don't hesitate to ask. Have a great day.
Hey, and you have a great day as well, ChatGPT. All right. The Patreon PokeRap. Let's go. We gotta rap some Patreon.
You just do the singing. I'll take care of the hard part.
Let's get it on.
We want to be the best that ever was. And shout out our pals over on Patreon.
LPD, Rizzle, Retro Project Day, Utah Gamer, Schlim, Tor, Spanish, and Solo Something, Brian, Little Miss 7, and Cosmic.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon.
K-Mac and Team, Third Strongest Move, Tim the Nintendo Dad Lens, Seth Sturgill, Monkey Thunder, Purple Yoda, Datfast John, and Lava Plays 2.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon. Let's get 150 or more. Yeah, please be a Patreon. Donut is your destiny.
Thank you all so much for listening, and we will talk to you in the next episode. Bye-bye.